So now we'll see here that line to line to line fault. So word itself only shows that, suppose word itself has line to line to line. Suppose this is the R, Y and B conductors. So here it is said line to line to line to fault. So all the three of the conductors getting involved in such type of faults. So either the fault can happen, suppose but it is not grounded, so but it is not grounded in this type of fault. Let us suppose the fault occurs and three of them had been attached to this point, yes or no? If the tower has been a fault here and because of this one, so all of them getting fault and getting touched at this point, so such type of fault is called the line to line to line fault. So here I have written such type of fault are balanced, that is the system remains symmetrical even after the fault. Already I have told you, suppose whenever the fault occurs to the system, after fault occurs in the system is getting remain, it is not going to change. The LLL fault occurs rarely, but it is the most severe fault which involves the largest current. Already I have told you this one, it involves the largest current. The large current is used for determining the rating of the circuit breaker. Means whenever the large current which determines the rating of the circuit breaker. Here I have drawn the diagram of the LLL fault. So I have told you that this is the one conductor R, Y and B is there. So here three of are getting and touched and it creates the fault. So such type of the fault is called the line to line fault. A line to line fault is a three-phase short circuit in which all the three-phase conductors R, Y and B are shorted together. Already I have told you, means here what is happening, in three of the conductors are getting shorted. Suppose this is the RYB, three of the conductors will get shorted, R, Y and B. Next point we have that is a very low impedance and may or may not be connected to the ground. Means it is not getting connected to the ground in the case of the line to line faults. Only the line conductors are getting involved in such type of faults. So key features of the symmetrical fault: even after the fault the system remains perfectly symmetrical. I already have told you that whenever the fault occurs in this one, so after getting the fault the system is getting balanced in nature only. So all the three phases are sorted and carry the equal magnitude current displaced by the 120 degree. Only the positive sequence network is used for the analysis of the such type of faults. The key, next one we have the fault is the most severe type because first it produces the high fault current of all the types of faults. It produces the highest current compared to any type of fault. Next one, it determines the short circuit rating. It determines the short circuit rating of the equipment such as the circuit breaker, bus bars and the transformers. Next one we have the occurs less frequently compared to a single line to ground or line to line fault. If you are comparing with the other types of faults like the single line to ground fault, means single line to ground fault or the line to line fault, it occurs very rarely because already we can see here, means it occurs very rarely when the three of the system is getting connected and the such type of fault occurs. Very rare, means it can be maximum 2 to 3%, means less than 10% this type of fault occurs. Next one, generally caused by the catastrophic equipment failure, severe insulation breakdown or a direct metallic short. First one, this is caused because the catastrophic equipment failure or the severe insulation breakdown or a direct metallic short at the generator site. Next one we have line to line ground fault. Here the word itself only shows that, means three lines will be there, R, Y and B, and after the when getting sorted it is getting also grounded also. So such type of fault is called the line to line ground fault. Line to line ground faults. So in this system what is happening, three of the conductors are getting sorted and it is getting grounded also. So such type of the occurrence of the fault is very rare in very rare nature. A three types of fault occurs when all the three conductors R, Y and B are getting in contact with the ground simultaneously. So such type of fault is called the line to line ground fault. So I have written here, a three-phase line to ground fault includes all the three phases of the system. The line to line fault occurs between the three phases and the ground of the system. The probability of the occurrence of such type of fault is nearly 2 to 3%. It occurs very rarely in nature, and it varies from the 2 to 3%. Somewhere it is written less than 10% also the occurrence of the such type of faults. So in the diagram we can see here we have the three conductors R, Y and B. When they have sorted and it grounded also, such type of fault is called the line to line ground fault. Next one we have a three-phase line to ground, that is L2G fault, occurs when all three phases conductors R, Y, B come into contact with the ground simultaneously. This means each phase is sorted to every other phase and to the earth at the same point. Also we have shown here that it is getting sorted at the same point only. In the diagram also I have shown here that whenever the fault occurs at the system, all of them are getting, after getting the breakage, so it touches the ground only and the here only at the same point only. The key features of this fault are, even though ground is involved, the three phases remain equal in magnitude and displaced by the 120 degree, as same as we have seen in the line to line fault. Only the positive sequence network is required for the analysis, like a pure three-phase fault. Already we have discussed in the last section also that we requires only the positive sequence network for the analysis of the three-phase fault whenever it occurs. It produces very high current, often slightly higher than a simple three-phase fault because of the earth path. It determines the short circuit MVA rating of the circuit breakers, bus bars and the transformers. Already we have discussed this point. Rare compared to the single line to ground or the double line to ground fault. It is very rare. It occurs very rarely, that we see very rarely whenever the three of the line is getting touched and the fault occurs. It occurs 2 to 3% of the system fault. Next topic that we have, this type of fault causes because of, first point, simultaneous insulation failure of all the three faults. It occurs whenever the insulation getting failure of all the three faults. Next causes we have the mechanical damage. Example, the tower collapse, severe flashover during the lightning, or the equipment explosion. Means this type of the fault occurs because when tower collapse, severe flash over during the lightning, or the equipment explosion. Next one we have that the incorrect switching or the catastrophic breaker failure because of the switching, incorrect switching, also this type of fault occurs in the system. The effect of these faults are complete voltage collapse at the fault point. Means already I have told you the one point is that it mainly occurs at the generation side, at the generation side, at the generation side, not in the transmission, side, not in the utilization side. That's why this type of fault can be also called that the generator fault. Next one we have the enormous short circuit current flowing through the both phases conductors and the ground return path. Because of this fault, enormous short circuit current flowing through the phases conductors and the return path. Next one we have the heavy thermal and the mechanical stress on the conductors, transformers and the generators. Next, how can it can be protected? It can be protected by the detected by the overcurrent or the differential relays that sense the symmetrical high current in the three phases. The last point that we have the high speed circuit breaker must interrupt the circuit quickly to prevent the equipment damage. So these all are the depth discussion regarding the faults. So this is the entire story from the definition through types, features, causes and the effects of the protective measures and the link with the short circuit capacity, presented in a single continuous explanation suitable for a lecture. Thank you.